In this session, we're going to be looking at multiband use of gates using the sidechain input. Now, the sidechain input is very powerful. It allows us to use an external source, and in this case, we're going to be using a drum kit to trigger how the gates open and close on a synth part to give it some interest, some energy, and some movement. Now, sidechaining can be used both on gates and on compressors. So in this example, I'm going to be using the gate, and I'm going to be using it first in single band, then I'm going to be using it in multiband to show you how much more powerful it can be. So let's have a listen first to what we've got. We've got two rhythm parts and a synth part. Now that synth part is okay, but it could really do with some energy and some jazzing up. So what I'm going to do, as I say, is what you need to do in your DAW. I'm in Pro Tools, so depending on what DAW you have, you'll have different ways of doing this. You need to send a bus send from your source, and in this case this rhythm part, which is here, and then that will open and close the gate on the synth part. So I've inserted behind the synth part here, Alloy 2. I'm using Dynamics 1, take it out of bypass mode. It's in multiband, I'm going to go to single band. And here's the sidechain. You need to make sure this is on. You also need to make sure here at the top you have your input coming in. So I've sent from bus 1 on my DAW, which is Pro Tools, as my source input. So it's now listening from that source and waiting for me to send signal to open and close the gate. So at the moment it's in a single band mode. So I'm going to turn down the send here for a moment and play it again, and let's have a listen. As I start to turn up the send from my source, you hear the gate opening, and the more I send, the more it gets triggered. To the point now it's virtually playing along with the entire rhythm. Pull it back again. It's virtually just the kick drum triggering it now. Now that of its own is really cool, but what it gets really cool is when we go to multiband mode, because now we can choose, if we go to the all section, that different frequencies open and close and hang around using release time for as long as we like. You need to make sure that you can see it by pressing the second icon along, and then we're splitting it up from 20 hertz to 358 and from 358 to 1.9K. We can solo those so we can hear what we're listening to as well and what's been affected. And then we need to make sure again that sidechain, these yellow buttons here, is switched on. And now if we play it, we can open and close different parts of the frequency. We can solo it to hear it. Here's the mid. So if we open up the threshold a bit more, quite a lot of mid coming through now. Take it out of solo. Let's let some top through. Now also, I have my release time quite short on the top. It's longer on the mid, so the mid hangs around for longer, and the top is not as smooth in its transition back down. We can open that up now. Shorten it again. Lengthen the attack time. So it's not a staccato. Let's bring some bass through now. Let's have a listen to that. It's a bit choppy. Let's make that longer. One we can double click. Quite nice. Listen to all three now. What we could also do then is move the bands around and have them doing different things. We could move the mid further up. Much more narrow band now. So a lot more of the bass will come through there now. Now, at the moment, the sidechain is only affecting the gates. Now, if you wanted to, it could affect the compressors as well, again, by switching them on here. And at the moment, it's listening to the external source. So if you drop these up, you'll see that they're coming from external source. Alternatively, it could be listening to another part of the frequency spectrum. So if I wanted to, I could use band 1 as the source in band 2. So you can really mix it up if you want to. So there we are. We have external sources all driving these sidechains. We'll close them again. But again, I can add some compression in now. I can add some compression to the mid, but not sidechain it, which is really cool. So let's just solo that. So I'm using it as a limiter now, brick wall limiter. Bit pumpy now. So as you can see, very flexible, very useful. Of course, side chaining and multiband can be used in various other ways. It can be used on bus mixes, for drums, you can use it on vocals. It's really down to your imagination. So there's a cool trick using sidechain multiband gating and a little bit of compression to completely transform a synthesizer sound. Let's hear it one more time without. And let's hear it with. So there we are, sidechain and multiband use of gates and a little bit of compression to completely transform a sound. Thanks for watching.